Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to fourth quarter. What is going on? What's up, Craig Moe in the house? What's going on?
Chilling.
Man, great week for college basketball on the men's side and the women's side. You know, we're here. We're going to talk about both. And also, actually, Craig, you just brought this up, man. We're talking about Calipari leaving Kentucky and going to Arkansas. What are your thoughts about that? And you got paid too. You got paid a pretty good amount.
Now he took a pay cut for that.
I mean, he has incentives that he could reach that could be higher than what he
As far as
has.
his base salary, as far as base salary is taking, he getting paid less. He took less. But we'll get to that when we go into that. I got some reasons why.
Go ahead. Yeah, Craig, what's your thoughts on that? That's big, man.
Him leaving, I think it's probably necessary for him to leave because he's not. I guess Kentucky has a standard. Like, if this Duke, Carolina, Kansas, Kentucky, UConn, they have a standard, and it's just like if this was LaSalle and he did whatever he did at LaSalle, that would be monumental. That would be fantastic for what he did there. Or if it was Vanderbilt or whatever, but it's not. So to me, he's underachieved at Kentucky, and I think he said that they need a new voice for that program. And I think he's right. I think they could use somebody else to come in there. It's going to be tough to try to fill because Calipari is a known coach. He's won a championship there. He had 4 straight Final Fours. The last 4 years though haven't really panned out. He's won one game in the tournament in the last 4 years. 1 year he didn't even make the tournament. So he's just had some, at least lately, he's had some rough times when the team or when the program needs him to shine the most. So I just don't think he wants to. I don't know if he just doesn't want to change his ways with the whole transfer portal or anything like that. I see a lot of. I think Kentucky's going to lose a lot of recruits coming out. I think somebody's already transferred, and I think somebody's already decommitted. So, and the guy that decommitted, Arkansas was on his list. I don't know if it was on his list prior to him decommitting or what. It probably was. But, so he might end up following Calipari to Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas just gives them a change of scenery. There's not a lot of pressure. There's not a lot of pressure in terms of what the program has done. They haven't really been relevant since, for the most part, relevant since the 90s. Yeah, like no Richardson with that squad. Those squads in the 90s. So it's been a while. It's been a while, but I mean his name is out there, so he's always going to have pressure on him because of his name, his reputation. He's a well-known college basketball coach, so that's always going to be out there. But he should have a lot less pressure on him in terms of expectations at Arkansas. But I just want to see what he does at his new stop. If he's able to just still do the one and done thing, or if that's still his thing, or he just doesn't still believe in the transfer portal, or doesn't believe in, I don't know if he believes in NIL or not or anything like that. But I kind of want to see how he goes about his business from here on out, and I also want to see who comes in to replace him because that's not an easy job. Rick Tito was there before, he won championships, and then you had Tubby Smith, championship, and now you have Calipari, who was there. He won a championship. Now he's leaving, so that program has always been about championships, and they're going to need a new voice. I don't think Hurley's going to take the job. I think Hurley's in the perfect spot right now. He's the best, arguably the best coach in men's college basketball, and he has the best program in men's college basketball at this point. So there's no need for him to leave. So even though it is an attractive job, but I don't know, man. I thought he should have. I'm not saying he should have got fired a couple weeks ago, but I could understand why fans wanted him to go. So fans got their wish, and we'll see who comes in to.
Mo, what's your thoughts about that?
I'm surprised, but not surprised. I think the writing was on the wall, and it's like before we do any firing or big news about mutual breakups, like let me roll somewhere. So one indication to me is he took less money. I'm not saying Arkansas don't have prestige, but if you're really comparing to Arkansas at this day and age to Kentucky, it's apples and oranges. So he took almost close to $2 million less. Yeah, he has incentives, but as far as the base salary, I think he would have been getting $8 million. I think he'd have been getting $8 million at $8 or $9 million at Kentucky. I think right here, I think at Arkansas is a base of like 7.5 or something like that, or in its incentives. Then you look at it. Also, what people gotta realize is it weighs on you, and it might have been a little bit different with Belichick. I mean, you gotta look at ownership and different stuff. But Calipari is 65 years old. You know, so the fact he went to Arkansas and signed a 5-year deal, he probably think, man, less stress, because that gets you like when you're at Kentucky, and then also I think people won't press him as much at Arkansas, like you said, Craig and James, about changing his ways. He's not gonna get the press at Arkansas about having those one and dones and not going into the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He might get more of a pass for not, going into that era of doing it. Do I think he still needs to do it if he wants to win? Yes. I just don't see it's an era now where you're not going to come into there. You're not going to win with a squad with just freshmen, sophomores and win. It's not that no more. You got to have those 4th, 5th year seniors, them dudes coming from a D2 program, different program that just don't care. That's going to go hard because this is their last stop. This is all they got.
Yeah.
So it's you look at you just take a look at NC State, take a look at some of these other schools. You got dudes who staying all 4 years. Nobody left early, none of that. They gonna stay for a while. That's what you gotta have. You're not gonna win national championship. You might get to the Sweet 16, you might get to the first round, but you're not like what is the last team we really can say went to at least the Final Four with a freshman, sophomore loaded squad as far as like they're starting 5. I'm trying to think when the last time we say a squad went to the Final Four or even to the Elite 8 with just straight up freshman, sophomores, like no senior, no real, like it's been rare. Like maybe UConn, but UConn had juniors. UConn ain't really was freshman, sophomore. So I'm not surprised by the move. It shows me that he bowed out gracefully now. I think he bowed out gracefully before the really aggressive the fan. He was like, man, let me bow out now with a good and go to another situation before things get real thick. And I'm not mad at him only because he ran his course and he won. At the end of the day, he won overall his time there. If he never won and then like he bowed out gracefully, that might have changed me a little bit. But the fact he won national championship, it did, and he won at a high level there, and it's just like it ran its course. Let me bow out gracefully.
Yeah, so the very interesting thing is, I listen to Colin Cowherd, and I don't listen to much of his radio show. I listen. He has a YouTube channel called The Volume. That's what Draymond Green is on. Shannon Club Shay Shay's on it, but it's just him talking. He'll cuss and he'll drink, and he said this about a week ago. He said, don't be surprised if Calipari goes to Arkansas. He's like, don't be surprised. He's like, people are talking to me. I was like, all right, this is about a week ago, a couple days ago. He called it out. So I just was like, man, when this dropped, I wasn't surprised, but I think Calipari, he had a good run. Like you said, he left a good legacy. He won a championship. He got to the Final Four. Shout out, the championship he won. That was the Anthony Davis squad. That was he had DeMarcus Cousins, John Wall, Devin Booker. I mean, man, he had so many awesome NBA stars. You know, when you able to develop that many NBA stars back to back, it means you have a good program, a good winning program. But I think you're right. I think he has to be willing to change. And unfortunately, we're starting to see it. The problem is the greats kind of like retire before we get a chance to see them do really bad. Right? We never saw Phil Jackson be a really bad head coach, but he was a terrible GM. You know. But like Nick Saban's out. He's retired. He left a great, Coach K out, retired. I think that sometimes they know this game it's not passed them by, but it's time to move on because you gotta willing to adapt. The person that is adapted is Andy Reid. He's adapted phenomenal, right? Dawn Staley's old. She's adapted. It's certain people that are just in the space and they get it and they change because they love the sport that much. So, and y'all gotta be honest, he's not gonna get the recruit, but he's kind of like, I'm gonna take my money, and he's not really gonna get talked about it a lot. People will mention him, but he's not gonna. Whoever's the new head coach of Kentucky is gonna get mentioned more than him, because he's at Arkansas. Nothing wrong with Arkansas, but like, I mean, how many games are they on TV compared to Kentucky?
They will be.
I mean, they probably be on there more now.
They'll probably be there more now, but if Kentucky, think about it. So, Craig, you said the best. From Kentucky's lineage of coaches, they're gonna get somebody. They don't even have to. They can do a long search or do a nice search. They're going to get – that's Kentucky. They're going to be able to pick they'll be able to get a phenomenal coach because it's not going to stay open long. That's like Alabama.
I know one
Alabama.
person that they reached out to that said he turned it down already.
Who?
They reached out to Billy Donovan, coach of Chicago, the Bulls. He turned it down.
No, he's not going. He's not going back to college. He likes playing golf and dealing with professionals. He's not going back to college, man. Billy Donovan ain't going back to college.
I mean, you think what's name going to lead the booth? People mentioned Jay Wright. He was coach of Villanova. They was like, "Will he leave the booth?
I heard
he can go back." Like I heard, they might reach out.
He's gonna be expensive, but
Kentucky
he might win though. He's a good coach. He's a good coach. I mean, would you go young, Craig? What do you think? Who do you think? Because I understand why Billy Donovan turned it down. I think he's getting NBA money, and that coaching, I think it's harder to probably be. It's hard to be an NBA coach, but it's a different lifestyle, college and NBA. Totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to recruit the NBA. You got GM. You're dealing with professionals. You know what I'm saying? So, who do you think either should be the next coach? Who do you have in mind? Or what are your thoughts about it?
I mean, I haven't really thought about who the coach should be. I don't know. I don't know if it should be like a former Kentucky insider or something like that, or should they go out and try to find like a big splashy name, or just go out and try to find not saying a nobody, but like a guy that doesn't have like a big following, like a popular coach. I don't know if Nick Few might do it from Gonzaga. He's a really good coach, but he has that whole.
Who Mark Few?
Mark Few. He has that whole Northwest thing on lock at this point, and he has Gonzaga. Gonzaga's always. If he wants to elevate his name or whatever it is and elevate his status, he could always definitely go to
and his recruits.
Kentucky. Yeah, he's always getting recruits, but he just doesn't he doesn't have to deal with anything other than he doesn't really have any competition out where he's at.
Yep. And he
Go to
don't
the
have to travel like that. Yeah.
He goes to the SEC, he's going to have more competition just because it's the
Mhm.
SEC. And then you got Texas coming in next year, and Oklahoma coming in next year, and some of these other schools that are coming in from other conferences. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult versus him staying where he's at. But he's just a really good coach. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. There are probably some NBA guys out there possibly that might want to
Maybe.
try their hand at college, or maybe like NBA assistants or something like that. But I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
I don't think it's going to stay open long. I think
It's going to
they
cost
can.
them.
Oh yeah, it's going to cost. It's going to cost money. They got it. They all right. They got it, man. But it's just, I think, man, I don't know who will be the coach. I don't know. But talking about college basketball, what were your thoughts on the Final Four? All the Final Four games.
I'm gonna lie to you, I did not watch the Final Four. I wasn't.
What?
I was at
For real?
WrestleMania. I couldn't watch.
Oh, that's right. You did say that. Yes.
So I didn't watch any
Yeah.
of it. But I beat me and my brother. I think my brother kept his phone on, so we were able to watch or check the scores.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch the men's. I didn't have time to watch the women's on Sunday.
Yeah, because WrestleMania was Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, and even though it was at 3:00, WrestleMania didn't start till 7. We had some other stuff that we were doing
Yeah.
at the convention center, so I didn't make that either. But I'm not surprised that UConn won though, and the way that they won, because they were pretty much just dominating teams the whole tournament anyway. So them winning by double digits, they haven't lost a game by double digits. I mean, they won every game in the last 12 of the tournament by double digits.
Yep.
So that wasn't surprising that they ended up beating Bama. I thought the only way Bama could have won is to shoot a lot of threes and make a lot of threes. But even still, I think UConn had really good guards, and they could dominate on the inside as well. So, and then on the other game, it came down to me. It was a cool thing, I guess, to have Burns versus Edey, but I just thought that Purdue overall was just too much for NC State. So I don't really know any of the stats or who had what. I forgot to even check it out, but I just know that Purdue won the game. So
Yeah.
And then in the championship game, it was a close game at halftime. I watched a little bit of. I was flipping back and forth because I was interested in Raw because I just went to WrestleMania.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Checking it out, and then at halftime it was a close game. It was 6, and then I tuned back in for a little bit, and then next thing you know, it was like 15, and then it was like 17. I was like, oh yeah, it's over. And at when I was looking at it, I checked the box score, and I think Purdue had like 2 threes or something like that. I was just like, that's just not going to be able to cut it against this team. So, congratulations to Coach Hurley. I think they have the most championships since 1999, and
Crazy.
side, which is crazy when you consider some of the powerhouse out there. But I mean, he's not just him, but UConn in general has built like a steady
powerhouse.
Like powerhouse. They're up there. They had the third most championships with Carolina. So, and they've all come within the last 25 years or so. So, and they're undefeated in the championship game, 6-0. So,
yeah,
I mean, they had the best program in college basketball on the men's side. The women are very consistent over there, even though they haven't won a championship in a while. But they're very consistent on the women's side.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
pretty much
Gina Romo.
And UConn women are going to be back, and then the men, I would assume.
Isn't Paige coming back?
Yeah, Paige Becker's coming back. So
Paige
that's going to make
it
better. I mean, they'll still be probably behind South Carolina, but like UConn is still going to be up there again. They're probably going to get transfers, and So, I mean, I just want to say congratulations to UConn and the job that they've done
Mm,
this season, the last 2 seasons actually.
yeah. Mo, what were your thoughts about the Final Four and then UConn bringing it home, man?
Uh, the UConn, man, I think probably the most dominant 2-year run I've seen. Probably since Florida. That Florida with Jockey Noah,
Yes. Al
Jockey Noah, and
Horford.
Al Horford, and them. It was a dominant 2-year run. Billy Donovan was a coach.
Yep.
But this 2-year run has just been crazy, especially in the midst of NIL deals, and you got you got NIL deals, you got the transfer portal, you got all stuff going on that really wasn't going on back then. Just to see this dominant 2-year run they've been on, it's just been crazy. Shout out to Coach Hurley. The Final Four games, after a while, NC State just blew out steam. It was just, you can see the difference. You can't allow a team to go on no 30-0 run. That was Illinois, my bad. But it was just, you could see that it was just too much. Purdue just man, battle with the big men. With Purdue, they just Edie just went on a dominant run. Shout out to him for being the I want to say third or fourth player ever to win the Wooden Award twice, back-to-back years. I think he became the third or the fourth. I think third. I think Larry Bird and Ralph Sampson the only ones that done it. So shout out to him. And then UConn, it was just, man, Edie, you can't ask no more of a big man. I don't care what people say. A lot of people get caught up in, he's supposed to do that. He's 7'3". Well, how many 7'3", 7-footers, 6'11" dudes we seen coming to college that ain't done half what Edie has done for the game? This dude had 37 points and 10 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, he kept them in it. I think Purdue only scored 60 points. Matter of fact, he had 37.
Yeah, it only scored 60.
So it's like, what more do you want him to do?
Yeah.
But UConn, just their defense, their attention to detail. I think they have a couple of dudes. I got to look at the mock draft, but they do have 1 or 2 dudes who could be, top 10 draft picks. I don't know who coming on. I got to look back at it. Who coming back? As far as South Carolina, just an amazing job, man. I watched that game, and it was for the first time, and I've watched a number of Caitlyn Clark's games, maybe not the whole way through, but I watched a number of Caitlyn Clark's games. I've never seen her shoulders shrug like that in frustration, and never seen her look dejected like she did. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was South Carolina was in waves. They played 9 people, and the great thing about it is a lot of times when we see people rotate, you see a lot of coaches got to change their scheme once certain players are in there. Dawn Staley was running the same stuff she was running no matter who was in the game. They was running the same system with nothing really changing, and it was like to see that. And she was running 9. She ran 9 players. She replaced her whole starting 5. Her whole starting 5 went to lead. 2 of them was top 10 draft picks.
Yeah.
And then when you see the investment of it all, and some people probably say it's staged. I don't believe that. To see somebody like a Leah Boston, number 1 draft pick, come back, and you can do so much. You can go somewhere else. You off your own world. To come back to the college and to get on the ESPN broadcast and to be on the stage and hug your coaches and hug the players that came before you, that came after you, and have that emotion, that shows you how much is an investment into the players and to people. So it was just a great scene to see it for. Man, they pretty much the class coming back. Like, who next year? I mean, yeah, I seen a top 3 recruit in the nation going to Connecticut. I know Paige Beckers will be back. They lost one of the girls, Aaliyah Edwards. She's gonna be a top 5 draft pick. But UConn always gonna be around. So but right now South Carolina's pretty much almost a clear favorite right now. We always love to see who's gonna be that team to rise up and compete with them. But man, it's just interesting, man, to see where this is gonna go, man. I think now that Caitlyn Clark gone, this is going to be one of the true stories of college basketball, to see if they can repeat again and to see how long she can keep this going.
All right. So, yeah, shout out to Dawn Staley, about to get to her next. Thanks for that. Mo. But I think with the championship. Y'all been saying it all year. Y'all, both of y'all like UConn's dominant, and it's just awesome, awesome program. Their culture that they built. Probably Calhoun. He probably doesn't get enough credit because all their coaches that they've gotten after Calhoun, they've won a championship. So that's a pretty good program, man. And you know, it's reports are like Hurley might leave for Kentucky. I heard that, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Hurley's gonna. I think he's gonna stay. You know, I think he has it. I think he has it nice. And it's Connecticut's nice, man. Yeah, winning program, college basketball. You know, he might stay for a minute. But shout out to them. Shout out to Edie. Even though I don't think he's a lottery pick. If this was 10 years ago, he'd be going number one, maybe. 14. Oh, I don't know. Was the game starting to change by then? It was game started to start. It started shifting to 14. It started shifting to 14. So it may be in 14, 10 years ago. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, man, the UConn men's basketball team is just phenomenal, man. And you know, their football school's like crazy non-existent. And a Patriots fan, Kevin Wiles was on First Things First. He was just like, Patriots suck. And he was just like, Celtics haven't won it forever. Red Sox haven't won it forever. He was like, but we have UConn. And he was just like, man, it just feels good to win back to back. And you know, I think it's a great accomplishment, great college program. Speaking of accomplishments, Craig, I'm gonna go to you on this one. Dawn Staley has won 3 national championships at South Carolina, and I mean they went on a phenomenal run last year. You know, they only lost to one team in the past 2 years. A lot of players love her, and it's she's done a phenomenal job as a coach. And I think college basketball, women's college basketball needs her because I think that she has a good spirit, good energy, and I don't think she gets talked about how great of a coach she is. Like I think now it's like, okay, we have to start acknowledging how great Dawn Staley is as a head coach. Like at this point, she's NBA teams are offering her positions, and I don't think she's going to go to the NBA. I think she's going to stay in South Carolina and build a legacy. You know, but Craig, what are your thoughts on Dawn Staley? 3 championships, man, and her run at South Carolina. This is a ridiculous run.
I mean, she's a great coach. She's had this program. I mean, before she got there, I don't really know too much about South Carolina women's basketball. I really don't know too much about South Carolina basketball. But before she got there, I don't think this South Carolina team was doing what they were doing. And to win 3 championships since 2016, 2017, I think, something like that. She's won 3. She's been to a couple other Final Fours. She's had an Elite 8 appearance. And then, like you said, she's only lost 1 game in the last 2 years. And she avenged that loss in the championship game because they lost to Iowa last year in the Final Four. So, Dawn Staley is a great coach. I think she's possibly on the Mount Rushmore of women's basketball coaches. I know Pat Summitt from Tennessee.
Pat Summitt,
Gino from UConn, and Van de Veer, the coach is just retired. She's on there.
Which one?
Van de Veer, the Stanford head coach, the women's coach.
Yeah, she's a beast. She's been there
forever. She's won 3 championships as well.
Yeah, she's a beast.
But she's always had a good program. She had a good program again this year. But man, Dawn Staley's right up there. She's
Yeah.
always in competition for even the year that the COVID year, she had like a 1 or 2 loss team. I think a 1 loss team
Yes.
in the COVID year. So she could have won that year possibly. Who knows? But I mean, you got to give Dawn Staley some credit, man. She's done a phenomenal job at South Carolina. She's always got these all those girls ready to play. She works them hard, and they get results. I mean, they're the team. It used to be Tennessee that used to run the SEC for a while. LSU had a nice little run. They won last year, but for the most part, it's just been South Carolina.
Yeah.
And I mean, I want to see what happens next year when the SEC. I kind of do, but I kind of don't because I don't want to see the expansion. But it's going to be interesting, I guess, to see how that works and because Texas is really good and they're going to be really good again next year, and they're coming over to the SEC. So you're going to have probably the number 1 and the number 2 ranked teams in the SEC next year with South Carolina and Texas. So that should be interesting to see how that goes. Man, but man, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they go undefeated again, or at least they maybe have like 1 loss again, because they're going to be right up there again, and she could be just dominating college basketball for a while in terms of winning championships and not just SEC championships, but like national championships. So I mean, she's on a run, man. You got to give her credit. She could have won. I wish if she had won last year, that would have been even better because she would have won a 3-peat. But I mean,
so Craig,
coach.
Guess what? I don't know if it's on this. Hold on, I'm about to tell you a very interesting story. It might have been 2000. I don't think it goes over it. I don't think it goes over the games. Okay, so anyway, the Stanford head coach that you just mentioned, I found out today that they beat Dawn Staley like earlier in her career, maybe 2008 or 9. And after the loss, this never happens. But what's the Stanford head coach you just named?
Van Devere. I think
Van Devere. Yeah.
Tara Van Devere.
Van Devere. She went into Dawn Staley's. Dawn Staley asked if she could talk to her kids. She went into the other coach's locker room and talked to the kids after the loss, and they punished them. And she gave him a pep talk, and whatever Vanderbilt said, Dawn Staley's been on a run after that, pretty much. So that's just awesome, to hear stories like that. It's like it's like an older great sees a great, like when Tom Brady, after they beat Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game, he went to Patrick Mahomes' locker. That doesn't happen. Tom Brady doesn't do that. I've never heard of Tom Brady doing that. Tom Brady was on his Kobe. And it's Jordan. Like I don't really hang out with guys. I try to. If they're not on my team, they're not my friends. You know what I'm saying? But for him to go and say that to Patrick Mahomes, you know what I'm saying? Goats recognize goats. You know what I'm saying? They recognize a killer instinct when they see it. So I just wanted to share that story. All right, so okay. There's some things that's been going on in the news, and it's about Caitlyn Clark. And Caitlyn Clark is going to the WNBA. She's going to be the number 1 pick. And Diana Taurasi was on the webcast, and Diana Taurasi was like, "Hey, Do you know that she was like, I mean, she's doing that stuff in college, but she's playing with grown women in the WNBA, and it's gonna be, she's gonna be shocked. Now, Mo, let me ask you this: do you see that as hate, or do you see that as Diana Taurasi is saying, "Nah, she gotta work, she gotta earn." You know what I'm saying? Or do you think Caitlyn Clark is gonna come in the WNBA and dominate?
One thing, if I'm not mistaken, the team she's going to has Aaliyah Boston on it. So I think that's one thing with that college relationship, passion to win. I think that's going to help. But one thing I would say is I don't know if she's going to come in there and put up the numbers she has now, but I would not be surprised if Caitlyn Clark comes in as a let's look at it right quick. If she comes in in a 15-8 person, do we call that a bust? Like, and I think because of the standard you're holding her to, people are expecting her to come in there and be a 25-8, 25-10 person. And it's like, is that really fair? Like, is that really fair to her? But if she comes in there off the rip and she's doing 15-8 and still around 35 to 40% from three, that's solid. Like, that's solid. But I think because of the fanfare she has, because of what's happened, because she's going to be a number one pick, people will expect greatness and taking that team to a championship off the rip. And that's not really necessarily fair, but it will come with the territory. But I feel like if she can come into this league and give you 15-8 or at least 15 points, 8 assists over, I say she's doing her thing. That's just me.
Craig, what do you think? Do you think Diana Taurasi was she hating or was she just being honest? Like, hey, she's
I think she's just being honest. I think she's gonna have to. It's not gonna be just given to her, handed to her because she's a great college player. We've seen a lot of great college players that don't pan out in sports in general, not just basketball, but all sports. So sometimes you see a college player that's not that great in college, but they become a great professional player. So it's just she's gonna have to earn whatever. I mean, this is not like it's not gonna be the same. She's going up against grown women now. She's not going up against 18, 19, 20-year-olds. So it's going to be a lot different than what she's been used to. I think she has the talent to definitely overcome it and to be a really, really good player. It might not happen overnight. She might not come in averaging 30 like she did this past season. She might not even come in shooting because Sabrina Ionescu came out of college and she was a really highly recruited player and she struggled in her first season. So it just happens. Like you just not every player is going to be able to come out and be 28-10 or something like that. So she might end up going like Mo said, 15-8, or she might get 20 a game or close to 20 a game and like I don't know 7 assists and like 6 rebounds or something like that. And that's fine. It's just like Mo said though, she has a standard that she's kind of built for herself, and whether it's kind of unfair if she gets, I guess, what's the word? If she gets scrutinized because she's not living up to that standard that she's set in college, but people have to just be like, okay, well that was just college. You got to leave it. You got to leave that there. She can be really great on the college level, and she can still be great on the professional level too. But that doesn't mean she has to average 30 points a game. So. Yeah, it's going to be a different game. I think she's still going to shoot the long distance Steph Curry type of threes. She might not make them like she was doing before, or maybe she will. Who knows? It's just going to be something that she's going to have to adjust to. And she's talented enough where it's probably not going to be a big adjustment for her because she's been doing this for so long. But the talent level is just going to be more than doubled, so she's going to have to deal with that, and I think she's more than ready for it. It's just I think all eyes are going to be on her, and I think it's good for the WNBA because now you have another star in there that can be the face of the league going forward. So even though she has that added pressure on her and that added weight, I think she's more capable of taking it and just running with it. But
Mm-hmm.
the WNBA has never been, at least not in a long while, to me, it has never been in a better place. And then next year you got Paige coming out. In a few years you got Juju coming out. Already you got Reese coming out, Angel Reese coming out this year.
That's another star. Yeah,
you got the WNBA is in great hands at this point. So it's just how they can get marketed and how everything is just presented, I guess.
Yeah.
And how they go about their business. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Caitlyn Clark can do with her and Boston on the same team. So
should be like inside out.
It should be a really good combination going forward.
Yeah, I don't think that was hate. And I know some people were like, Caitlyn Clark's gonna, come in the league and do good. And it's like, yo, wait, this is a professional sport. And like some people come in the league and they're automatically good, right? They're like, oh man, this person's only person I probably maybe is probably LeBron. LeBron came out averaging 25, but that's LeBron. He's one of one, right? Like he averaged, like he came in as a rookie and balled out. I don't know. And I'm not putting Caitlyn Clark on that standard. I like especially in NBA and WNBA. It takes adjustment. It's and the NFL from college. It's just an adjustment. It's an adjustment in any profession if you go from college to professional. Right, Mo? No matter where you at. You go from college to being a professional, it's an adjustment period.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nobody comes in. It's something to work with.
Yeah. And especially for like the from college basketball to WNBA, I know it's going to be adjustment. And then people are going to be coming for her. But I think she's going to handle her own. I think she's going to be good. And Craig made a good point. Sabrina liked that. That's what she's good. But, you got the Kelsey Plums out there. You got the Asia Wilsons. Like it's real in the WNBA. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the star power. I might even watch a couple WNBA games. Or might watch Angel Reese. She's from Baltimore, Maryland. Shout out. We put out good products. Basketball and football. PG County puts out the best. But anyway, hey, listen. All I gotta say is one name, baby. KD from PG County. Michael Beasley's from PG County.
All right, man.
The list goes on. Anyway, shout out to PG County, man. All right, let's talk some NBA news. This is very interesting. I wanted to ask y'all this because this has been buzzing around the news cycle for a second. I was like, let me ask my guys about this because it's very interesting. So I know we mentioned it last time. I don't even think we talked about it. We were asking, was he going to? What would he do? He entered the transfer portal. Now he says that he's declared for the NBA. Do you think a team drafts Bronny and develops him? Or do you think he stays in college and goes to the transfer portal? What do you think, Craig?
I mean, I don't think he gets drafted. He didn't.
What if LeBron James tells the Lakers to draft him?
Okay. I don't think he gets drafted. I don't know why you would listen to LeBron. LeBron's not a GM. I mean, I wouldn't listen to. I mean, I would take his input, I guess, and whatever, and listen to what he says. But I wouldn't just make my decision just based off of because LeBron James is his father and LeBron James is vouching for him. LeBron James is also the same person that said Bronny's better than half the people in the league, and he could play for the Lakers right now and all this other stuff. And that's just not the case. I get it. That's his son or whatever, but like that's way too much. So plus you put a lot of pressure on him. He's already your son, so that's pressure there. And then you're gonna say all that. That's putting way too much pressure on him. People always want to go at you. Now people are gonna really want to go at your son. So I don't think he's good enough to get drafted. Not this year. I think he's just going to come out and see exactly where he is. I think he's going to do some workouts, see exactly what these scouts and these GMs are saying about him and what he can do to improve for next year. He's going to go back, hit the transfer portal, and he still has eligibility, so that's always good. And he can just end up transferring somewhere else. Maybe he can start next year wherever he transfers to. He works hard in the off season. And it's unfortunate that he had that medical condition that kind of set him back. Maybe if he didn't have that, maybe we could have seen a different Bronny.
Because he was trending up. He was trending up before that.
I don't think he's gonna set the world on fire in terms of.
I think he would have been.
But I think he could have been.
He could have been 8 or 9 points.
You would have had a better look at him to figure out exactly.
Yeah.
What type of player he possibly could have been instead of what happened. So that was unfortunate. But I think him staying another year in college will definitely help him get that extra the development that he needs, and he can possibly go to some other school that, like I said, he can start for or get just more playing time or just have a better understanding and a better grasp on what he needs to do, especially when he gets that evaluation reports from the GMs and the scouts and things like that. So I don't know where he would probably transfer to, because I know Collier came out and said he was coming out and going to the draft, which was his teammate last year. He was one of the top. Top
he's a lottery pick. Is he a lottery pick?
He didn't play well last year either, but the whole team in general didn't play well. Like that was a down year for what the expectations were for USC, especially being one of the few teams, probably between them and Arizona, they probably had like the biggest expectations in the Pac-12, and they just didn't live up to them. So Collier had not a great year, but I mean, the whole team didn't have a great year either. So I think him coming out though, I think he'll probably still go, if not in the lottery, maybe like a few picks later. But he definitely has the talent. But Bronny, I think he could use a little bit more time. And I think he's gonna, when he goes back to college, wherever he transfers to, I think he's gonna get it. So figure that out, but he's not NBA ready at this point. Not for me.
He's going. I'm looking at one mock draft. Isaiah Collier is going 18.
Yeah, I think he was like a top 10 at one point, or maybe I think he was a top 10, and then this season it just
he fell off the lottery.
He still has potential because he was a high recruit, but he definitely dropped in a lot of people's eyes. So,
I mean, Mo, what are your thoughts about Bronny James? Do you think a team takes like a second round pick on him? Do you think?
I think they do, because we just seen too much of people take a project and feel like they can do something with it. You know what I'm saying? Because one, they'll take the name, they'll take the, and I'm not saying dude don't have talent. I'm not saying Bronny doesn't have talent, but people will look at the name and people will look at it and be like, well, I can do something with it. We see it all the time. People like, well, I coach better than this person. They'll probably say behind closed doors, I probably could do something with it. They want to use them right. So it's always going to be somebody who's going to look at the athleticism, look at the size, look at some of the ability and traits and say, I can do something with it. So I definitely think he's going to get drafted. My honest opinion, and this is no shot to LeBron and his wife and the great parents. excellent parents. I just think because of the situation, I don't think he needs to go to a big market. I think the best thing for him would be if he get drafted by a small market team. I don't think he needs to go to a Knicks, a Lakers, a big market team like a Miami, somewhere with like that big exciting city where the cameras are going to be. The cameras going to be on him regardless. But now, if you talk about going to a big market, it's going to be on him even more. Like I think best place going for him would go to like one of those, something chill, like no Brooklyn, even Brooklyn, like. I just think he needs to go somewhere with a chill market, a low market, where it's still gonna be cameras, but not as pressing on them. And that's just my opinion because we've seen players who are not ready, and then they get drafted to big markets, and then they struggle. You know what I'm saying? And even players who put up better numbers than he did. Look at Ingram. Look at D'Angelo Russell. Look at other players who went number 1, number 2 overall. Wiggins. Look at players, Andrew Wiggins. Look at players who went top 5 in the big market, struggled, and then had to rebound their careers. So I just don't think a big market is good for him. I think he's gonna be one of them dudes that we'll look back and say, man, he went to the best. He went to a great situation.
Yeah,
and I don't want to compare it to nobody, and I'm not comparing him to this player I'm about to say, but I would give it a football equation to look at where Mahomes went to at 11. Like, look where Mahomes went to the best possible situation. I'm not saying Mahomes wouldn't do the same thing anywhere else.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Look where he went. Like, people don't believe in situations can make you or break you. I believe that, and that's why, just like we said, J.J. McCarthy can't just go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's one of them players where, like, where he goes could make him or break him. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where Drake May could go could make him or break him. Like, I think where Bronny goes could make him or break him because, yes, he'll still have that, support with LeBron, but LeBron can't be everywhere. LeBron can't just step into somebody's locker room and be at him at practice and all that other stuff. He got to defend on his own. So where he goes and the player development team there is going to be critical to him. So, but I do think he's going to be drafted, though. I don't see him just being some, a dude that's going to be just picked up on later on. I think he's going to be drafted.
I think so too, Mo. I think a team is going to try to develop him in the second round. I think so. I think they are. Craig, I think so. I think a team is going to draft him in the second round, and they're going to try to develop him. Now, I agree with Mo as well. He has to go to the right spot. He has to. Because now, hindsight, Craig, should he go to college another year? Maybe, but probably not. He's probably going to go in the draft. Because this is just how NBA players view their sons. Gilbert Arenas just said on his podcast, he was like, man, my son's not even going to college. For what? He wants to be an NBA player. This is just how Gilbert Arenas said. You know what I'm saying? LeBron's probably the same way. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, like, right. We can.
You're setting your sons up for failure.
I don't know if Gilbert Arenas' son says he wants to play in the league.
If he's not good enough to play, a lot of people want to play in the league. I wanted to play in the league. I wasn't good enough. Gilbert Arenas' son, just because you want to play in the league doesn't mean you're good enough. If somebody takes a flyer on him and he just drafts and he just doesn't pan out, then you're looking like, well, we just wasted a draft pick, even though it was a second round pick. We just wasted one.
Right.
A lot of second round picks don't pan out. There's thousands of them. They have never panned out.
For every Jokic, for every Draymond Green, for every Clay,
Jimmy Butler, yeah. That was a lottery pick.
It's not that many really good second round picks.
You don't.
Like it's just.
And I'm just saying I don't know because I for number one I don't have a son and I wasn't an NBA player. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how they view it.
Well, I'm sure like Dwayne Wade's wanted his son to go to the NBA. Scottie Pippen wanted his son to go to the NBA.
His son's in there though.
They can bounce around G leagues and in the summer leagues. They haven't been on the.
His son is a rotational player.
Larry Nance's son is in the NBA, but he's not. It's not too many sons in the league.
He has 2 sons in the league.
It's not too many sons in the league from fathers that have played that are good right now. I can't think of pretty much, for the most part, I can't think of any. Now, I could be wrong because I don't really pay attention to the NBA like that, like I used to. But
Jalen Brunson's father played in the NBA.
Okay.
I'm just saying, Jalen he did.
Okay, so you have 1.
All right, man. I'm just Greg. I'm just telling you.
Bronny's going to be the next Luka.
We don't know. It could be like Shaq's son. It could be like Dwayne Wade's son. But that's their choice. I feel like, you know what I'm saying. I just feel like
they still have to get drafted. Just because you want to go to the NBA doesn't mean.
I think a team is going to try to think they can. I think they're going to be like, yo, we can coach Bronny up to be a decent NBA player. I just think that I think a team is going to shoot their shot, but I also agree with Mo where he's going to have a team is actually going to have to put in the time to develop him.
Well, it's not the Lakers. The Lakers are trying to win now, so that's out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, that doesn't seem like the right fit. Just because his dad's on the team, that doesn't.
I mean,
no, they did that. Austin Rivers did that with his dad as coach.
They're trying to win right now.
Yeah, but if they can develop him,
will LeBron be there next year? But we'll leave that alone.
Yeah, he gonna. So think about it. If they win, if they're trying to win, if the Lakers get Trae Young and the superstar. They have a lot of second-round picks that don't play.
Well, Bronny does not need to be on that team at that point.
He's probably going to be on.
He's not getting any run.
Well, that's the thing about the development. That's what Mo's saying. Like, that's the development part. The G League, the getting them trained. That's the development part. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where a good position is. A lot because sometimes second round picks don't play for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
If he does get drafted, I think he's to go to some bum team. Wizards, Pistons. I don't know.
That's why he left the portal open.
Or just go if
he's not gonna go to one of those teams. If
it's not a really bad team, at least go to a team that's not doing so well, but have a stable organization.
Yeah. It matters where you land.
Not just
you know what I'm saying? If he lives in OKC. What if he lands in OKC?
That's a good organization.
Yeah,
that's awful. That's what I'm saying. Some teams might be trying to do that. Some teams might be trying to do that. I'm just, because we're not hearing this for no, this isn't just smoke. So if some teams, he's not just going to he's not going to declare for the draft if he's not hearing things.
I don't think he's hearing things. I don't. Not at 5 points a game. I just think that he's trying to declare for the draft because he had expectations prior to this, and plus he's LeBron James' son. That doesn't hurt, and I think he has talent. It's just you just gotta, like you said, you gotta get it out of him and develop him.
But also can't you work out? But also can't you work out now? Can't you Can't you work out? Can't you work out now? As long as you don't hire an agent.
You don't hire an agent. I think you can go back.
Yeah, he hasn't hired an agent yet.
No, that's what I'm saying. So he can go to the workouts and get a draft evaluation. Where he can tell him like his what would be your
he can play around with it. He can play around with it, Craig.
He can do that back in the day. I'm thinking now.
I know he has an agent. Everybody knows he has an agent already.
Yeah.
Whatever you can say,
as long as it's kept under wraps. I get you, Craig. I fully agree.
Yeah, we get you.
Rich and them are going to tell him everything he needs to know, everything that's going to happen, what his stock is, what is, and going to give him the best advice to figure out what he needs to do.
But most said he can go to workouts though. That's what I'm saying. Like
that's what I'm saying. He can go to workouts, get all the evaluations from all the GMs. Definitely get it from Rich Paul and them. Get it from LeBron. Get it from his whole camp.
Yeah,
and just give him the best try to put him in the best situation possible. Whether that's go back to
Yes.
college for another year or try to come out.
And then I mean his coach left, so his coach
Yeah,
left.
that's another thing too. The coach left. Yeah.
But that's why he went to the transfer portal.
Yeah,
His coach left.
his
So
coach
he's gotta-
took the job at SMU, and
Yeah.
his coach said that the only reason he took that job is because SMU is in the ACC now. It was this whole mess. It was a whole
Oh, that's right. They are.
Listen, yeah,
yeah. SMU is in the ACC now, so he was like, that's one of the reasons why he took that job.
Well,
oh, man. But is USC staying?
Now USC is still USC is in the Big Ten as of next year.
They're in the Big Ten. That's a premium. I don't know. I feel like USC gets a lot of good recruits.
Basketball?
Yeah. Not basketball.
No, not basketball, but football.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just saying, I think it's a bigger school.
I mean, it's definitely a big
You know
school.
what I'm saying?
It's more of a football school than a basketball school. So I mean,
Yeah.
they
got
did
Juju.
a few years ago. They had little Romeo, whatever it's worth. They had LeBron's same son, and then they had Collier. But they had some decent players come through there, especially DeMar.
It's not like UCLA. UCLA's got a pretty good lineage.
They haven't had nothing in a while either.
Nothing.
Not
They had what you call it, Yaquez. Didn't he go there?
They had a
Yaquez from the Heat.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a solid.
He's decent. He's solid.
But
I mean Westbrook. Yeah.
I think that's going to help them.
Kevin Love.
That might help them next year in terms of getting recruits. All those schools that are going to like the Big Ten,
Big Ten,
SEC,
yeah,
or the ACC or something like that.
Yeah, now it ain't no Pac-12 no more. Pac-12 was bad.
So,
all right, guys, the playoffs are about to start. They start April 20th, but I believe the play-in starts at 16.
Yeah, 16.
There we go, man. I mean, this is I'm gonna be honest. I'm excited for this playoff. Yeah, man. The playoffs about to be the Western Conference is about to be crazy. You can Eastern Conference is gonna be interesting too. This is gonna be some good playoffs, man. Joel Embiid is back. Giannis is hurt. He's missing the last 3 games.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he tore his Achilles last night, but they said
it's good. He's been dealing with this calf strain for a minute. He's been dealing with it for a minute. This is the same calf. They need to be careful with this. We've seen how that goes, but we'll see. You know, you just gotta be careful with the calves, man.
You gotta be careful with the Cleveland Cavs too.
That was a good one. That fit right in. So, all right. Now, because the playoffs are going to start, I think. I mean, I don't even think we need to do the one. Let's just go off what's right now because I feel like. All right, no, let's go. Let's see the 1 through 10 seeds because this is very interesting. This is a very, very, and some of these races are a little tight, guys. I'm gonna start off with Craig with the Eastern Conference. Who do you have 1 through 10?
Oh, you talking about by the end of the season?
Yeah, I think it's like 3 games left. I think it's 3 games.
Yeah, like some of them have like 3-4 games, something like that. But
do you think? Let me ask this question first. Do you think this is going to be locked in with these 1 through 10 seeds? Well, we know 1 seed is going to be the Celtics. They've locked that up, I believe.
Well, I mean the 9 and 10. Well, no, that can change too.
Yeah, it's some of these joints is tight.
The only thing really locked. No, yeah, the only thing really locked
is Boston. Because I mean, you even got a battle at 9 and 10. I mean, they're locked in at 9 and 10, but they're like a game. They're only a game away from each other, so they have a battle there to see who gets home court in that first play-in game between Chicago and Atlanta. But
Yep.
I guess if I were to go, I'm guessing Boston won. Obviously, well, there's no guess there because they're the number one seed. Boston won. I think with the injury to Giannis, he's going to be out for the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Boston, I don't really think they can. I mean, I guess they can sit people. So I'm going New York at 2.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Milwaukee is. I mean, they got some tough games. They got the Magic twice, and they got the Thunder. And the Magic are trying to move up because they're right now sitting at 4. So, and they're 2 games
I
back.
think the Magic might round get the 2 seed, brother.
I think the Magic can get the 3. I think the Magic gonna get the 3. I got Milwaukee, I guess, at 4.
Okay.
Cleveland is starting to fall. But I think they can hold on to the 5.
Okay.
Philly, I had Philly at 6, like the last time we did this, so I'm still sticking with Philly at 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So Philly at 6. I got Indiana at 7, Miami at 8, Chicago 9, and Atlanta 10. So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. What do you have 1 through 10 on the Eastern Conference?
So I did mine a little differently. I got my matchups. I got my matchups because I think by the next time we film, it'd be the play-in tournament. I think that will start that same day we film. So I did the matchups.
Same day.
Yes, I did the matchups where I think it's already gonna play out as.
Okay.
So in the East, are we doing East and West, or we start with East?
East.
All right, in the East, I have 1-8 ended up being Boston versus Miami. I got Miami coming out of the play-in and being the 8 seed. In the 2-7, I have Philly winning that what would be that 7-8 matchup. I got Philly ending up as a 7 seed. They'll play Milwaukee first round. 3-6, I have New York. I went back and forth with New York and Orlando. It get flopped, but right now I'll stay New York. I got New York as a 3 seed facing Indiana. And in the 4-5, I got Orlando versus Cleveland. But I think that 3 and 4 could flop.
All right. I think I'm on Giannis injury is pretty big. And Dame just came back. So, and they have Doc Rivers. All right. So I got Boston as the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed. I think that the Knicks. I don't know. I think I'm going to Boston. I think this is tough, man, because the Magic been playing good. So I think Boston 1, Knicks 2, Magic 3, Milwaukee 4, Cleveland 5, Philadelphia 6, Pacers 7, Miami 8, Chicago 9, and Atlanta 10. But Mo, I do agree with you that I think that Miami does come out as the 8th seed. Craig, do you agree with that as well?
Well, I had Indiana versus Miami for the 7-8. So
yeah,
I think I'm going Indiana at 7, and I got Miami at 8.
Yeah, I think so too. I think the Eastern Conference is pretty much locked up, and then we're gonna do. Do we want to do the playoff matchups? Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's do that real quick. We can do that. That'll be easy. That'll be fun. All right. So basically, everybody, well, not everybody agrees, but all of us have the Eastern Conference 1 through 8. Perfect. Craig, Western Conference 1 through 10.
So this is tough. So
this is tough.
I think I'm going with, because Denver plays Minnesota tonight. So this is a huge game because you're going to have the inside track at getting home court. So I think it's in Denver. So I'm going Denver 1. I'm going Minnesota 2. OKC still has what 3 games left.
Yeah.
They playing tonight. I think you know what I'm going OKC. I'm going OKC. You know what? No. So okay, Denver 1, Minnesota 2, OKC 3,
Yeah.
Clippers 4,
Yeah.
Dallas 5.
Yeah.
The Suns, I don't know, man. I had the Suns.
Suns are wild. They're wilding out.
They're
They're
very
wilding out.
I gotta go with
Crazy.
I gotta go with the Pelicans at 6 at this point. As much as I want to pick the Suns, at 7, Kings at 8. I actually got the Warriors jumping the Lakers at 9. I got the Lakers coming out at 10.
Yeah.
So I guess my 7 would be Phoenix, and my 8 would be. I'm going to go State at 8.
All right, Mo. 1 through 10 Western Conference, and then you said your matchups. Yeah, you said your matchups.
So I did my matchups. I went back and forth on this.
West is gonna be crazy.
Y'all gonna be like, wow, when I say this, because who I have out. I have in the 1-8, I have Denver versus Lakers. I have Lakers ending up with the AC. I have Lakers ending up
That's what I'm talking about, Mo.
Yeah,
There we
in the
go.
8. I haven't winning the West. I have Sacramento losing twice, basically.
Yeah.
I have them beating Golden State, even though Golden State has a tiebreaker and has beaten them multiple times. I have them beating Golden State, and I have them beating Sacramento. So I have Sacramento and Golden State out of the playoffs. I have in the 2-7, I have Minnesota and Phoenix. I just feel like Phoenix is going to figure it out. They might not win a series, but I feel like they're going to get in. Like, it's just too much talent. Like, it would just be like the biggest. But like, I truly think if they don't make the playoffs, it would truly, like, we got to question Kevin Durant's whole like, we got to question Kevin Durant's whole legacy almost as a leader. 3-6, I have OKC versus New Orleans. And in the 4-5, and this pretty much already a lot.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, this one right here, this one right here is already a lot. Nothing can change from this. It's already a lot. It's 4-5 is Clippers versus Denver, and that can't change no matter what happens the rest of this regular season. That's pretty much a lot. With a matter of who's home, who's away. That's
Dallas.
You mean Dallas? You mean Dallas?
Yeah. Clippers
that's gonna be crazy.
That's already 4-5.
That joint is going to be crazy. All right, so my 1 through 10, and then I'll do the 8 for the Western Conference. I have Denver number 1. Okay, so number 1. I have Minnesota number 2. OKC number 3. Clippers number 4. Dallas number 5. Pelicans number 6. The Suns number 7. I have Sacramento at 8. I still have the Lakers at 9, Golden State at 10. And I have the Lakers winning out and getting the 8th seed. And then I have, so it will be Denver, Minnesota, OKC, Clippers, Dallas, Pelicans, Suns, Lakers. Now, these are some good matchups. Like, look at the matchups that we potentially have in the Eastern Conference. Boston and Miami. That's a good matchup. That's going to be some good basketball, right? Listen, if the stands were today, it would be. I think it's going to be the Knicks. So it will be the Knicks and the Pacers. Going to be very interesting to see. That's all right. But then number 3, I had the Magic versus the 76ers. That's going to be a good series. I want to see Paolo in his first, playoff action. And then it would be Cleveland and Milwaukee. And I got Milwaukee doing good. I mean, just like even the potentials, if we just said the standings today, I mean, the matchups are phenomenal. And in the Western Conference, you talking about Denver and the Lakers first round, or Denver and the Golden State Warriors first round? What? What? You got Timberwolves and the Suns. Man, you got the Mavericks and the Clippers. These, it's gonna be some tough picks. That Maverick Clippers series is gonna be. That's gonna be nice because didn't the Clippers come back against the Mavericks in the bubble? Wasn't that in the bubble?
I don't remember the bubble. I'm not gonna lie to you.
For real? I think the Mavericks lost to the Clippers. And the Clippers lost to the Nuggets. The Nuggets came back like 3-0. And then the Lakers beat the Nuggets and the Lakers beat the Heat. I'm pretty sure Luka lost in the 2020. Yeah. That's pretty interesting. So anyway, this is gonna be some great playoff basketball. I can't wait. I cannot wait, man. I'm gonna love it, man. Anyway, Craig's top 5. Craig, what we got this week, man?
Okay, so this week I'm gonna just do my top 5. I guess moments from WrestleMania weekend. So that's
nice.
I guess.
Hold on, before you go, how was it?
It was cold. It was cold. Not gonna lie, it was cold. But
I know Saturday was cold as mud.
Oh, Saturday was really cold because it was just windy. That's what made it cold. It was like 50 degrees, but it was like the wind was maybe like 15 miles an hour. It just kept nonstop for the most part, and then it would stop, and you thought you were good, and then it would start up again, and it was like, man. So other than that, though, the whole time was good. It was my first time going in like 12 years to a wrestling event. My brother hasn't went since he was like a kid, I guess. So
it looked lit. It looked lit.
It was packed. It was fun. Everybody was into it. It was just a really good time. Overall, it was like we're talking about going next year. Next year it might be in Minnesota, or talking about going to the Royal Rumble. That's in Toronto or something like that. So we're just trying to go to different.
At least
events.
Minnesota's in the dome, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the worst part of the whole experience. It wasn't even the parking was expensive. Like everything's expensive. Everything's way more expensive than normal. Or you go onto the website.
Yeah,
the prices were a lot cheaper, but it's to be expected. The food was more expensive. It's just to be expected because you're at WrestleMania or you're at this event. So, but other than that, man, it was just an amazing time that I had. So. I'm just looking forward to the next one. So, but it's got to be somewhere warmer. I just said, they can't have it back in Philly again. And the crazy thing is that this weekend in Philly is supposed to be in like the 60s.
It is. It's crazy.
That's the crazy part because, man, yeah. Saturday I wasn't prepared, but Sunday I was more prepared, and it was still cold, just not as cold. But it was a great time though. It was a great time.
My brother. He went.
Yeah.
My aunt's so my aunt was in town. So we went, we met her Tuesday night, and then Sunday night, my family went to dinner. But my little brother couldn't come because he was at WrestleMania in Philly. He said he enjoyed himself, man.
Yeah, it's my first one.
He enjoyed it.
One, so I mean, just to be there was just crazy. So
that's awesome. Awesome. All right, man. My bad. Top 5 moment.
All right. So number 5 is just seeing the celebrities. Saw Hulk Hogan. Saw I don't know if you guys watch Wild 'N Out. I saw Big Mac who's on Wild 'N Out.
Yeah, he crazy, man. He got his shirt off, man.
I actually walked past him going to my seat. Saw Lil Wayne. Saw like Drewski. Saw. It was Wale. 2 Chainz was there. Snoop Dogg came out. and then just seeing all the wrestlers in general. But that was my number 5. Was just seeing the different celebrities / wrestlers that were there, men and women. So that was cool. My number 4 is we went to the Pennsylvania Convention Center. They had a WWE World event. My brother got tickets for us, and the event had like a bunch of exhibits, I guess. So they had like an exhibit where you hold the belts and you can get like your picture taken. They had an exhibit where you walk through and see all the old school memorabilia, where the old like the Stone Cold's boots that he wore and his tights, and then you had the Rock's uniforms that he wore, and it was all signed. Some stuff was signed. Kurt Angle stuff. You had Undertaker stuff, Kane's mask, and it's like his uniform. And I thought, I don't know why I thought, but it's like I thought it was gonna be a different type of uniform or like different type of feeling looking tights. It just looked like cheap material, but I guess that's what they wore. I didn't know what to expect, but so that was cool walking through there. That's where I saw Hulk Hogan at as well. He was doing autographs. A bunch of other wrestlers were there doing autograph,
That's nice.
Yeah, a bunch of other wrestlers were there doing autographs. They had a stage where you could come out to and make your own entrance through the wrestlers' theme music. So some people came out to like The Rock, some people came out to like Cody Rhodes and stuff like that. So they were just doing.
They had like the smoke too a little bit.
No, I didn't have no smoke. They just had the they just had the music, and you could come out. Some people had the big belts already. They already bought their belts or whatever it is, so they had the belts walking with them. Okay. And they just came out and posed. You could stand out there for a while and just wait and just pose, and you get your video of it and stuff like that.
All right, that's nice.
So that was cool. Just that whole experience and just going to that event or that convention center. Number 3 was the matches overall. Just going back to a wrestling event for the first time in a while, just seeing like Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
tag team match on Saturday night with Cody Rhodes and The Rock and things like that, and then seeing just all the different things that happened. And you've seen John Cena come out. The Undertaker came out.
Yeah, I saw that clip of that.
It was just, dude cashed in his briefcase to win the title, so that was cool. It was just so much going on in both nights. And it lasted it started at 7 and it didn't end to about 11.
Yeah,
both nights. So I didn't get home Monday morning.
My brother got home late.
3. I dropped my brother off at the airport. I didn't get into about 3 something, and then I couldn't fall asleep. So my sleep schedule was all jacked up. So that's why I took Monday off. But seeing the different matches, man, was fun. Number 2 is the overall experience, the atmosphere, the crowd, the excitement, the vibe of everybody. Everybody was just like positive and hype and pumped up. There wasn't really no negativity out there. Even though, it's Philly, so you kind of might have thought it was going to be, but it was like different people from different cities and different states coming, and there was different countries, people from different countries came. So it wasn't just like a typical Philly crowd that's going to be like crazy and cussing you out or whatever it is. It was more like a wrestling crowd where everybody was just like happy to be there and witness history, I guess. So that's my number 2. And my number 1 was just spending time with my brother who, he lives in Oregon now, so I don't really see him too much.
Oh, but, he lives out Oregon now?
Yeah, he's been out there for a while. But we both grew up wrestling fans, and it was just cool for us to go. This was our first wrestling event that we went to together, I think. Yeah, I think it was. So it's our first time going together at an event. Just happened to be WrestleMania. So just spending time with him and just taking the car ride up there, and then back, and then going back up there again, and going to the convention center, and then going to the arena, and just having that weekend with him. So that was cool. So just the overall time that of the whole event was amazing. So I can't wait to try to do it again. It's not saying a little bit, it's very expensive.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
But it's just a once in a lifetime type of experience for most people, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw all the videos and stuff. I was like, golly, I saw Jason Kelsey there. I saw Undertaker. I was like, everybody was there.
What other dude? It was 2 Johnson was there.
Lane Johnson, yeah.
Lane Johnson, yeah.
I mean, it was just crazy, man. People just come out of nowhere, and then when John Cena's music hit, the crowd just went crazy. Undertaker's music hit, crowd went crazy again.
Hey, Craig, did you turn the flash of your phone with Undertaker music hit? Like, hold up, let's little docket here.
Nah, you know what happened? My phone ran out of space. I didn't even get the Undertaker. I got John Cena, and then I got Cody Rhodes when he won. But in between John Cena and Cody Rhodes winning, Undertaker came out, and I had to start trying to take stuff off my phone and take it to the trash can and getting rid of it to make more space. I was pissed.
Now I was saying, did you turn your flash on? Did you turn your flash or like your flash?
I did. I had no choice because I think it was dark. So when I was recording it, the flash automatically came on, but it was on.
Yeah.
And then man, it was just crazy. It was crazy. So my brother got it though. I think he got the Undertaker part, but I missed it. But
this was crazy. He turned around and he was like,
man, listen, I watched it on Sunday. I was like, oh God. I was like, this is the craziest main event I ever seen.
Yeah, that's what it's
it was wild, man.
I thought Brock was gonna come out. That's the one person I thought was gonna come out that didn't. I was like, they did.
I really wanted Stone Cold to come out, but he wasn't.
Yeah, I was shocking. You think next?
So we knew he was there. We saw people were pointing to him in the suite. He was waving. So we knew he was there. So we figured he was coming out. Everybody expected John Cena to come out. We were just waiting for Stone Cold.
I heard they're gearing up for Minnesota.
I hope not, but I hope it's in Vegas. That'll be better. They have
if it's in Vegas, it's gonna be big.
But it'll probably be in Minnesota, which is, I mean, it's in a dome, so that's fine.
I think they're trying to make it big though, like huge.
Well, this was huge. I mean, this one
was huge.
So this had 145,000 plus in Philly. It was sold out. I mean, we even tried to sneak that. We did sneak down to like a lower level, and
it was packed.
We snuck down there. We had our seats, and then somebody had bought the tickets because I guess they were up for resale. And we just took a screenshot of the tickets, and we went down there, and then we were trying to hope that nobody bought the tickets, but somebody bought it. So we had us
that
run
quick
back upstairs to our we got to see like certain intros, and then we got to see like half of the first match, and then that's when somebody came down there.
I know them joints is probably like somebody was like, I think a lot of celebrities were posting like to get really close, like to see people getting slammed through tables. I know them joints had to be crazy.
But they said one of the best things to do is to buy a cheap ticket, like a nosebleed, and then when you get there, is to look for resales, and then maybe you can get a closer seat that's going to be not as expensive as it would be.
Playing around.
You bought it like months ago.
So y'all could have bought those resales?
Yeah, we could have bought them, but I don't know how much they were. My brother was the one doing the scheming type thing he was doing, but that was cool. Yeah. But it worked out a little bit, but it didn't, because we got to see some people, some more celebrities and stuff like that that I recognized. So it was fun.
Listen, I might have to maybe I'll go with my brother one day. My brother Charles is a big wrestling fan, man. Big wrestling fan.
Yeah, I'm thinking about birthday gift. I'm gonna holler at. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go. SmackDown gonna be DC. I think August 23rd.
Yeah, I might get tickets to that myself. I was looking at
email about it, so I think I'm gonna do that for my birthday. I think I'm gonna treat myself, put some money aside, go to that joint on the 23rd.
They went on sale today, actually.
Yeah.
When is it? August 23rd.
SmackDown. They got Raw coming like a few weeks before that in Baltimore, but
what's the 23rd?
Friday.
Yep, because it's July. Okay. To the August joint. All right, cool. Oh, all right. So we're gonna go to NFL team grades, and I think we're gonna start off with the AFC South, man. I think we're gonna go through the South first, and then we're gonna
draft needs.
You said, huh?
You said grades or draft needs?
Draft needs. That's it.
You said grades. That sounds like grades.
No, draft needs. No, draft needs. No, you can't even. Off season is not even completed yet. No, just team needs for the AFC South, and we can start with the champions, the Houston Texans. Mo, what you want to start off? What are some
I
team
mean, you.
needs of the
I mean, you
Houston
can't. I mean, you can't hurt yourself with always building your O line more. Can't have never enough secondary. You really don't need to go quarterback. Don't really need to go, running back or don't definitely don't need to go receiver. So, you might add another tight end behind Schultz. You'll probably add, O lineman, D lineman can have enough of that. Can't have enough secondary. But looking at them right now, I mean, unless I'm missing something, I don't see a pressing need. Something that was a crazy weakness of theirs. Last year, I think their younger players are going to get better. A lot of their players took a big jump. Mainly Singletary, their corner, Derek Stingley. He took a huge jump under their defensive staff. Under
I
their
like
staff.
him. I liked him coming out of LSU, Derek
Yeah, I
Stingley.
did too. But I think you need that right coaching staff to get bring the best out of him. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how he takes his next step.
Yeah.
But I definitely say O line, D line, and maybe secondary.
All right, cool. Craig.
I got him O line. I agree with Mo. I have O line first, corner second, and D line or D tackle third. They're always a line. You could always definitely help out with the quarterback, and then I think the secondary help. It's they don't have a first round draft pick. One of three teams.
Yeah.
So I guess you got to wait till the second round. I guess, but I think they can find some decent picks in the second round, especially for the O line.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's easy. I think the interior of the O line. I think that matters. I think you should. That might have been a slight issue last year, the interior line. So I agree with both of you, and I do think they have Will Anderson, but you can always need an edge rusher in the NFL when you're in the AFC with the superstar quarterbacks. And I would probably say corner as well. I think Houston can do a corner. Can't have too many corners. All right. Indianapolis Colts, Craig. And then what are some team needs of the Indianapolis Colts?
I think they need a corner. Also think that they could use. I really think they could use another wide receiver. I know they got Pittman, and he just re-signed, but I think they could use another wide receiver opposite of Pittman. I think they got Pierce.
You don't like Pierce?
He's okay. He's not bad. But I think they could use somebody. I think if somebody else is there, it doesn't hurt to take them, especially given that you got a second-year quarterback plan. But I do like possibly getting a wide receiver. It ain't got to be first round. It ain't got to be second round. I just think you could just get some more depth there. And I think you go offensive line again. I think nothing wrong with, like Mo said earlier about the Texans, building up that offensive line and helping out your quarterback.
Mo, Indianapolis Colts, some team needs.
I definitely think a wide receiver, kind of a burner to go outside of Pittman. Pittman's more of a possession receiver. You need that straight burner, especially when you got that strong arm in Richardson. I definitely think adding another corner O line wouldn't be bad, but I definitely think they need to add a receiver. I don't think their first round pick probably will be a receiver, but I think somewhere in that second, third round they need to add a burner, a receiver, O line, and then I would think secondary.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I think corner is a number one need, I think. And I think they're in a position to draft the best corner off the board. I think they're okay with the receiver. I would if I had a choice between, I would probably go O-line with them. Interior, you can't have too many interior O-line or right tackle. And if you can get I don't see them getting a receiver. I think they would. You know what? I could see that. You're right. I could see a third. I could see a third receiver, a slot receiver, a burner outside, another big body, somebody like Amon St. Brown. I mean, he's a dynamic. He's a better receiver than they have. But I'm like, you know, or Addison, somebody who can line up in the slot sometimes outside that you can get in good. You know, Jerry Rice Jr. might be a good pick for them. Somebody that they can get in the second or third round to develop. I'm gonna start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know what they're doing, but I think they need a receiver. And I know the mock drafts don't have them getting a receiver, but they need a receiver. I mean, they could go with Zay Jones, Christian Kirk, and Gabe Davis. I think they need a receiver. But obviously, they probably draft a corner, and they probably gonna draft a corner, the best corner in the draft. And they definitely need some offensive line help. So, I mean, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think they have a lot of holes to fill, to be honest with you, which is crazy because they have Trevor Lawrence on a rookie contract. Mo, Jacksonville Jaguars needs.
Ooh, I definitely think secondary. They gave him too many splash plays in the secondary last year. The wide receiver they're set, kind of quarterback now with them getting Matt Jones in the back as a backup. I think that's a good look. So I definitely would say you never can add up too many offensive linemen. So I would say secondary offensive linemen might be their two biggest. They locked up the edge rusher. They locked up Josh Allen to a major deal. Where now, shout out to him. Josh Allen now the third
Deserve it.
annual paid. As far as annual paid per year, he's the third highest paid defender now, behind Bosa and Chris Jones. Well deserved. So I think they're kind of up in the front seven. I think they're kind of good. I think secondary O-line might be their biggest thing. I think they're pretty decent at the running back position with ETN and ETN. So I think I definitely would probably say O-line and probably secondary. They gave them a lot of points last year in the back end, especially at the end of the year.
A lot. I think that's going to be their first pick. Craig, what do you think Jacksonville Jaguars team needs?
I think they need I could go corner. Definitely, I think they need a corner.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need a O-line as well, and I think they could use another D tackle or a DN, and then somebody on that defensive line, basically.
Yeah.
I know they went out and signed. They got Armstead. They just re-signed Allen, but and they also signed Darby in the offseason. But I think they definitely need the help at corner, opposite of Darby, and I think they need some. It doesn't hurt to have extra pass rushers as well as extra offensive linemen. So they definitely could use both of those.
All right. Now, as you know, we do the AFC South. We're doing the NFC South. So, Craig. You said.
Wait, you just want to disrespect Tennessee?
Oh, Tennessee, my bad.
Hey,
Golly. I mean,
Tennessee just small change.
they're gonna be bad. Anyway,
so disrespectful.
Hey.
Wow.
They're gonna say they're gonna be bad.
They're gonna be terrible. Mo, Tennessee, they are.
All right. Let's go ahead and start with offensive line. They definitely do offensive line. Secondary. I think that I like the 1-2 punch of Pollard and Spears in the backfield.
Yeah.
Let's see Levis take Will Levis take a turn, but he ain't gonna take no leap there too unless you build that off the line. That's just terrible. Him and Tannehill was getting teed off on. So they're gonna need to fix that. Another Trey Burks has not worked. I think he's been in the league 3 years. He was a top 20 pick out of Arkansas. that has a build. They brought in Ridley for ridiculous amount of money, almost as if he's a top 10 wide receiver. So let's see what he do this year. But I think it's time.
You said who did they bring in?
He brought in Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
They did bring in Sneed from Kansas City. So, I think that's going to upgrade and help their defense. But, they got to get more pass rush. So I think another edge rusher on the outside is going to help them. So I would go there.
Yeah, he been in Traylon been in two. I think this will be his third season. Traylon Burks, man. Yeah, this will be his third NFL season. Craig, NFL team needs for Tennessee.
I definitely think they need an offensive tackle. I think they'll probably take the first offensive tackle off the board. At least that's what a lot of people are saying. So, yeah, I think they'll have their pick of whoever they want, whoever they feel is going to be the best offensive tackle for this team. I definitely think they need a pass rush. Whether that be an edge or a D tackle. But I think they need somebody that can get to the quarterback. They got two corners in the offseason with Awuzie and Sneed, so they should be good there.
Yep.
I don't know about the wide receivers. I'm not too high on Burks. He's very disappointing. They did get Ridley, and they had D-Hop, but D-Hop's getting up there in age. I think this is his last year of his contract. So if Will Levis is going to be – I'm not saying they need to get a wide receiver this year, but definitely probably look for one probably next year. If not, just try to go after one maybe in the third or fourth round.
Third or fourth round. Yeah, I don't think they need a receiver.
Nah, I don't think it's like a huge need. But I also think they could use a linebacker or maybe like an edge rusher as well. But offensive tackle is definitely like their biggest hole, or one of their biggest holes, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they need a receiver. I would rock with who I have with now just to see. I think that's a decent receiver core. Even if Traylon Burks sucks, I think Calvin Ridley is a good number 2 and D-Hop's a good number 1. So I think Traylon, this is his third year, so we'll see. Sometimes receivers take a second. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. So, give them one more year. O-line, of course, and then I'm probably gonna go defense. I think they need edge rusher and a linebacker and a safety. They just need help all over the defensive line, and they need help in the O-line. So they probably should. I wouldn't be mad if they drafted O-line and D-line early. Like they just built the trenches early. So I wouldn't be mad if they did that. All right. Craig, now to the NFC South. Mo, we're gonna let you go first with the Atlanta Falcons, man.
Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Atlanta Falcons. O-line. Definitely O-line. I think front seven, improving front seven and improving the secondary. They gave up too many plays, too many points. Running back, they're good, solid. Quarterback, we're adding Cousins. The receiving core, tight end is good. I think they need to go front seven and definitely O-line and definitely secondary.
Okay,
Edge rusher.
Yeah, I have Atlanta probably all on defense. I think their offense is pretty good. I have them having an edge rusher. I think they need I like AJ Terrell as a corner, but if a nice corner falls to you, and I would probably do a D tackle. I think I would build the defense. I think the offense is pretty much in a good position. Maybe depth in the offensive line, but I think they're out. We'll focus more on defense as the team needs for the Atlanta Falcons. What say you, Craig? Atlanta Falcons team needs.
Definitely, I think they could use an edge rusher. I do agree that their focus should be mostly, if not all, on defense.
Yeah.
Edge rusher. I think right after that, they need to try to get a corner.
Yep.
maybe in that second round. Maybe in that second round or somewhere on day 2, second or third. And I think they can use a defensive tackle.
Yep.
I also think they can use a safety.
Yep.
So they got some holes on that defensive side.
Yeah.
Offense, like you said, the offense looks really good. This could be another when the Panthers they took all defense in their draft. So I can see probably the Falcons taking all defense in their draft as they try to focus mostly on that, and then just try to deal with the Kirk Cousins getting back to 100% or close to 100% by the time the season starts, and just work with those offensive guys that they have.
Yeah.
But the Falcons just need to focus mostly on defense, if not all.
All right, the next team. I'm gonna let you have at it. This is your team, the Carolina Panthers. What does the Carolina Panthers team needs, Craig?
What isn't a team need?
Y'all are crazy.
They need a wide receiver. Even though they have wide receivers, they just haven't. They haven't made anything out of the wide receivers.
Yeah,
like
Terrence Marshall was a little
Terrence
weird,
Marshall and Mingo. I mean, I know Mingo was a rookie last year, but Marshall's been there. I think this is his third year coming up. So
this is Marshall's third year.
He's been there for a while. I get they have Thielen, but Thielen's getting old. You can't rely on him. He should not be your number one wide receiver like he was last year. Deontay Johnson. I don't like Deontay Johnson. I don't trust Deontay Johnson. Not a fan of his. So that to me is just, I don't even know why they traded for him, but I don't know what they saw in him last year, because I saw enough from the tapes or from the highlights that I watched of him just having no effort or no enthusiasm to try to make a play or whatever. But I think they need a wide receiver, even though like I said, they got some wide receivers on the squad. They use a tight end. They don't have a receiving tight end. Tremble's decent at blocking, but he's not a real receiving tight end. I mean, the defense is just a mess in general. What was their strength last year and has been their strength for the last couple of years is now it's not a strength anymore. Cornerback, edge rusher, D tackle, and they don't have a first round pick. D tackle. They can use a linebacker because Shaq Thompson's going to be a free agent next year, and you saw how they treated Burns. I don't think they're gonna. I mean, and Shaq is coming off of an injury from last year, so I mean, you treated a healthy Brian Burns the way they did, and just got nothing for him, and franchise tagged him just to trade him. Imagine how they're going to treat Shaq. I mean, he was older as well. And they got a lot of holes. Even though I would say 3, I just gave them like 6 holes that they need to fill, or 6 things. But I probably would go definitely try to help out your quarterback with wide receiver. Definitely try to help out your quarterback with a tight end. And I think they definitely need an edge rusher and a cornerback.
Yeah,
this season. So
I'm a go. Mo, you ready? You want to go? Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, wide receiver. You added DeAndre with Deontay Johnson, but what else we have? Thielen is a vet, but not something where you try to put up points. Running back, I think O-line, of course. D-line, defense. Now you lost a lot on that defense. You lost linebacker. You lost pretty much everything in that in at all 3 levels. You lost basically your best players at all 3 levels, except for Brown, except for the D tackle. You lost your so I think they need to replace a lot. There's everything, almost like a best available.
Yeah, I think they got to focus on the offense, man. I think they got to give Bryce Young some help, some protection, some pass catchers. They're good on the running backs, but I think I will focus on O-line and receivers. And I know I don't have a first-round pick, but that's if I have a second, third, and fourth pick, those are the positions I'm focused on, man. Hopefully, you say you don't think they're gonna draft for O-line?
I don't see him because they just signed 2 guards in the offseason. Then they also signed a tackle. So they kind of put a lot of money into those positions. So and then they also still have Moten that they have to pay, and some of these other guys that they drafted. The kid from NC State and Brady Quick Christensen or whatever his name is. So
Yeah.
they got some. I mean, it's just they just haven't made it work.
Yeah.
But I just don't. I think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna focus on offensive line, even though I wouldn't be mad if they did. But
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Man.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did though. But I definitely think their first pick in the second round should be a wide receiver, or the best wide receiver.
Definitely need a wide. And this wide receiver draft is so deep. Y'all can get a number one. Y'all can get a number one, man.
Well, yeah, they could. It's just they don't know how to develop. Well, maybe Canellis might be able to. I mean, he has some really good wide receivers in Tampa. So,
man, we're gonna see.
All
right, come on, Carolina, man. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. What do their team need?
So I think they need to go. I think they need to go. They lost a secondary player. They lost one secondary player. I think secondary. They lost one of the linebacker. I think White left. I think one of the linebackers did sign somewhere else. So I think linebacker. I think getting more explosive at the tight end spot would be a help for them. Wide receiver, I think they're good. I think running back was decent. I think I wouldn't mind them getting a running back later on. But I definitely think secondary. I definitely think in the secondary because Detroit shredded them in the second half. So I think secondary. I think getting another edge rusher, and I think O-line would be best for them.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I definitely think they need linebacker help, and I think they need to. To be honest, I think this is another team that needs to focus on the defense. I think they focus on edge rusher. I think they focus on the linebacker, and I think they focus on because I think they're good with receivers. I think they're good in tight end. Maybe interior O lineman, but I feel like they could definitely use a corner and some edge rusher help, man. What say you, Craig? Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I definitely think with the losses of Barrett and White, they definitely need like a linebacker / edge rusher because that was basically the part. Well, at least two of the pieces that helped them get that Super Bowl was their defense in that season. So that was a big strength right there. But they lost both of those guys.
Yeah.
They didn't go corner because they traded Carlton Davis. So he's gone. So edge rusher definitely corner. I think they could use probably like maybe the offensive lineman or two or something like that. But yeah, edge, linebacker, and corner to me. And I do agree that this is another team that probably needs to just focus mostly on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And they also lost. Well, I don't know if he was with the team last year. Maybe he wasn't. Murphy Bunting, was he on the team last year, or was he on the team 2 years ago? Because he's not on the team anymore either. But he made some plays in the Super Bowl when they played Kansas City. I think he had a pick or something like that, or like a pick in every game up until the Super Bowl or something like that. But
you said Murphy
Bunting. I know he's not on the team no more, but I don't know. I just know he was another corner that they had at one point in time for their team. But yeah, I just think they need.
Yeah, he's at Arizona, right?
I didn't know if he was on the squad last year with him or if he was just was already gone.
Yeah, no, he left in 2022.
Okay, never mind that. But I just think they need to focus on defense.
Yeah, listen. I think they're good on offense, man. And Craig, you don't like this team. Yeah. Go ahead. The team needs.
I think they need an offensive tackle. What's the dude's name? Ramczyk? Ryan
yes. Ramczyk.
He's always hurt.
Always, man.
So he's been having issues for years. So I just think they need to get some more depth on that offensive line.
Yeah.
They can use a wide receiver because they just let go of Michael Thomas, and I know they have Olave, but I guess they thought like well, I didn't think so, but I think they thought like a lot of Saints fans, I guess, thought maybe Michael Thomas might come back and he'll be healthy, he'll be ready to go, but he hasn't been that guy. I know they have the guy that can stretch the field. I can't remember his name. And then they also have A.T. Perry, who was a rookie last year. Cedric Wilson. But I mean, these guys are just, I mean, it's just Olave pretty much. So unless they can develop that other receiver that made plays by stretching the field last year, who I'm blanking on the name, I got to look it up.
Shareed.
Yeah. Shadeed or something like that.
Shadeed. I'm about to tell you right now.
I had him on my fantasy team. He was pretty good. But the offensive line as well. I said that already. Offensive line, wide receiver. I think
Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think they can use help in the secondary as well. Getting cornerback play. Also, think they can use a tight end. If the kid from Georgia's there, which I don't think so, but if he's there, I mean, you can't keep relying on Hill.
What pick do they have? That's a good one.
I think it gotta be mid. It gotta be mid first round because they ain't made the playoffs.
It's 14, yeah. But I mean,
you think they can get Brock Bowers there?
Bowers.
If
I don't think so.
If the Jets don't get him at 10, it could be in play.
If the Jets don't get him at 10, I think he could drop because the next three teams all need quarterbacks.
Yep.
So I don't know if any of those teams might take a flyer on a tight end, but they possibly could. But the Saints could definitely use a tight end to help out Derek Carr and to help out Kamara and Olave to give them another pass catcher. So, but their most glaring need to me is the offensive line.
Yeah, because they got the 14th pick. Mo, New Orleans Saints draft needs.
I definitely agree with Craig on that one. O-line, you got to get Kamara back going again. I think, if I want to be mistaken, this might have been one of Kamara's worst years since his rookie year. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he put up kind of the stat numbers he put up previously. I might be tripping. Tight end, I definitely think another receiver outside of Lave. They easily either they know they're going to draft one or somebody in that building is going to improve because they just like easily got rid of Thomas. So obviously they have some type of plan in place, I hope. But definitely I think tight end, wide receiver, O-line, you got to be able to run the football. Secondary, New Orleans couldn't stop nobody. Even when they were scoring, it was either they could stop somebody and couldn't score, or they were scoring and couldn't stop nobody. It was just like a balance all year. Like it was just either one of the two. Either they were scoring, but they couldn't get no stops, or they couldn't get no stops, or they was getting stops but couldn't score. Yeah. So just finding that balance. Dennis Allen definitely on the hot seat. I almost could see him gone somewhere before the season ends, but that's there. I mean, he's been there long enough to give him a chance. I was kind of shocked they brought him back, but I think
this is a year for this the final year for Carr too.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see where it go. Like Craig said, I think the Jets. Honestly, I hate to say this though, but they won't have to move up for him. But I definitely, if Jets don't get him, I definitely will get Brock Bowers. I think that would be a move for them, for their offense, for their scheme. I think that will help out. Derek Carr. It would be more of even bigger of a Swiss Army knife type of situation than Taysom Hill. And even you can still use Taysom Hill. Now that adds more dynamics to your offense. So I'd be running that card up if I was them. If he slips there, from what I'm hearing, I don't think he slipped there. From what I'm hearing, the Jets are almost like he's gonna be there. My draft has them getting him at 10. Even though I think they need to go tackle, but that's here or there.
They need to go tackle or trade down. They could get Fashanu right there, who I think
they need to go tackle. I mean, you got you starting two 33-year-old tackles, and one of them barely stays healthy. It's just, I mean, I just don't understand how you don't go O-line or have some type of tackle in place just in case he goes down. But but I think they gotta get a tight end somewhere in that draft. It's after when I'm hearing after Brock Bowers is a huge drop off in this draft as far as
Huge
tight ends.
drop off.
Like it's a huge drop off. Like I'm not
Huge.
even hearing about a second or third round type of tight ends. Like I'm hearing after Brock Bowers, it's scarce. So I mean, I would think, I think they'll probably be hoping, but if not, then they definitely get a receiver. They definitely need to go get another receiver outside of Olave, because Olave is a future star, man.
Yeah. I tend to think they should lean more. I think they definitely need offensive linemen. I think tackle is a number one need. And I think D tackle is a number one need too. I think they need to reinforce the offensive lines. And you're right. And I think I can rock with their receiver room. But if that's a question. Do you draft Brock Bowers or do you draft an offensive lineman? I would probably. That's a good question. Brock Bowers or O lineman?
Because I mean, them tackles still gonna be there.
Lineman is bad.
One of them still gonna be there though. That's where the trick is gonna come, because I think
that's true. You get some good tackles. It's some good tackles. You can get a good tackle in the second round. So I
was saying for Shanu and a couple other ones still gonna be there. So it's definitely gonna be a draft room argument.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be If Fashanu's there, it's gonna be like, oh.
And I'm hearing the one from I'm hearing the Samoan one, the one from Washington is rising, man.
Yeah, that's what I have right here. His name. I'm looking at a mock draft right now.
He's saying he can be top 10. He's saying he was jumping into the draft boards, man.
Is Troy Fontenot.
Yeah, he's rising right now. They said don't be surprised. They was like, don't be surprised if he's a top 10 pick. Like,
So that's gonna be it's gonna be very, very interesting, but that is all, guys. Next week, the seeds are gonna be locked in. We're really gonna have a conversation about the NBA playoff, who's gonna win the play-in, and we're gonna break down the matchups of how many games and why for the first round. All predictions, and we'll talk about NFL team needs, and then there's always something happening in the sports world. So y'all guys be easy. We are out. Y'all stay safe in the streets, man. Peace out.